Jetstream Aqua Massage, located in the Heritage Mall, is your answer for the relaxation you've been looking for. Our massage beds will help you with stress, anxiety, increase circulation, muscle tension, improve sleep, pain reduction, decrease muscle spasms, increase your range of motion, and help with the everyday aches and pains of life. And at only $1 per minute, we'll save you time and money. 20 minutes in one of our machines is equal to 1 hour of traditional massage. We have gift certificates available for the perfect stocking stuffers. All TENS units are on sale now, and don't forget your BioFreeze. Jetstream Aqua Massage. It's not just a massage, it's an experience.
You're listening to Driver Live from the Northwest Race Car Show, presented by Moxie Media Promotions and Jetstream Aqua Massage, live on Spreaker Radio. All right, back for another session of Driver Live here at the Northwest Race Car Show, presented by Jetstream Aqua Massage and Moxie Media Promotions. Our next driver here at the Moxie booth is Mr. Brian Winkler. Brian, how you doing, bud?
Doing awesome.
Good. It's glad to see you here. You brought the 88 to the show to show it off, and man, is that car getting some attention?
We've been talking about it quite a bit.
It's come up almost in every interview.
Yeah, it has. It has.
It has. That's a great looking ride. They got the old school nostalgic outlaw look to it with the big boards and the wedge nose, and man, I know we kind of got a sneak preview of the car before it was here, before the graphics were on it, and oh my gosh, I saw that and it just gave me chills. I was like 15 again. I was like, look at that car. That is so cool.
I don't even think it was wrapped then.
It wasn't. No, and it was just looks like it's just wicked evil.
I love that scheme with the skulls, and we had our Moxie and Jetstream stickers put on his car, and they're like, do not cover up the skulls.
Yes, he said. Dude, Brian says, do not cover up the skulls on that scheme. So,
and they're so subtle in there, too. It just looks awesome.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the car, you need to come down and see it.
It's a very, very
beautiful
awesome race car, yes. Job well done, sir.
It's awesome. We when I talked to Celeste about from Finish Line Graphics about doing it, we went back and forth trying to get something that looked cool. We just want to look, something look cool for the show.
Yeah, well, you got that mission accomplished big time.
Yeah,
that's going to look great on the racetrack.
Yeah, it is. I remember Portland Speedway, a guy came out one season, the opening race had that Ford transition paint on.
Oh, yeah.
It changed with the sun, how the sun hit it and how you looked at it and everything.
Yeah.
The guy was a target, man. That's not going to be the case with that car.
It's not the paint scheme on this car that makes it a target. It's the talent in the wheel, because at the end of the year, Brian Winkler was, 3 races he won last year. 2 of them were back-to-back. I think you won 3 of the last 5 races. Is that what it was?
That's what it was, yeah.
And just, come on, all of a sudden at the end of the year, and went from 3rd and moved up to 2nd in points in the last show of the year. And a lot of guys are saying, okay, wait a second. Took the 88 a little bit to get things figured out last year.
But where did he come from?
Right.
Where did Winkler come from?
I think he came up in our conversation of most improved drivers as well.
He did. He absolutely did earlier today. And that car, with you, same car. Nothing's changed, but the colors are still there, but that scheme in the body, wow!
It's always been an eye turner. Brian's car has always been one that you notice it. It just stands out alone.
It does, and it was alone a lot towards the end of the season last year.
Out front.
Yeah, exactly. So, let's talk about that. What came together there with about 5-6 races ago that just all of a sudden you were just badass fast, man.
It was. Last year driving, I never drove a 4-car bar before, so when I first got in the car, it was crazy. I wasn't sure what I was supposed to be doing, so I'm trying to get
well, you did it
from everybody. How the heck am I supposed to drive this thing?
Oh, you did a great job.
So it was a little bit of a learning curve in the beginning of the season. So once we finally got it figured out, it was a lot of fun. Best fun, most fun I ever had in this season last year.
Well, especially the second half, because there was a turning point there where it just all came together, and all of a sudden, bang, 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 the wins were there, and you moved up quite a bit in points there. In the last couple of races, you were sitting 3rd, moved up to 2nd, and nearly took the title at the last race. In all reality, had a chance to do it.
See, something happened in that last race to you, didn't it?
No, we finished 4th.
Okay.
And, Barley was 3rd right in front of us, so it was close.
I guess that's what happened.
Yeah, it was. Well, Thompson that broke and fell from 2nd to 3rd in points.
Right.
But
that was
what
a great
battle.
race.
It was so awesome to watch you and Barley and Thompson the last couple of races, because that was the one championship everybody was watching, because it was a 3-way battle. Yeah. It was awesome. You remember all the action.
Oh,
jeez. You can't.
when you talk super sports for the last 5 races of the year, the 3 names that always came up.
The only names that came up.
which is very true. Winkler, Barley, and Thompson.
Yep.
And it was
I think they won all everywhere. Well, Dybel got one win in the last 5.
Dybel got a win.
Yeah, so there was 4 drivers that won in the last 5 races. But man, exciting! If that car is anything like it was to start the season as it was when it ended, these guys are in for a long season.
Yeah. Yep.
It was good. We made quite a few improvements over the off season on just upgrading parts. Should be a lot better parts. So we should be doing pretty good.
Well, and Brian is no stranger to Victory Lane. I mean, he's a former champion in our sportsman division. That was it 2 years ago?
2014.
2014. He was track champ and had a great year. I mean, that car was dialed, and he had the old 88 up front and just wheeling it. And they spent most of the season chasing him, and an impressive run. I think we saw that at the end of the season last year, and if you start like that, oh my gosh.
Oh, absolutely.
It's going to be a fun season. Yeah, it's going to be a good deal. So, I look at your car, and we walk through and look at these cars, and we see a lot of sponsors. Your car has got sponsors everywhere on it. Let's talk about some of the guys that are helping you out in 2017.
It's awesome. We got some great people behind us. Steve and Mark with Extreme Motorsports. I couldn't do this without them. I mean, without those guys, I wouldn't be where I am today. With my family, my brother, my son, my cousin that helps me. So without those 2 main people, I couldn't do it. So
it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, dedicated to run the points. You got to get the car in tip-top shape every week.
That's the biggest thing. We had a conversation with Randy Barley about that earlier, as far as if you're going to dedicate yourself to points, that car has got to be maintained to a T every single week. And I know that you guys, with your in-house program, you're associated with Steve Moore and Extreme Motorsports. Those guys are on top of it. Steve doesn't miss a whole bunch, and if he does, it's a rare thing.
It's very true.
This guy's been around racing a long time. I know you've spent some time with him and learned a lot from him. I think that's another reason why your program's coming together so well, is now your understanding of these cars is you're up there. You understand what's going on, what a change does, and what that does. I mean, and that takes
that takes years.
It does. It really does. For a driver to get to that caliber, you don't just jump in these cars and go out and win.
No, you don't. You look at the 4-bar, because correct me if I'm wrong, Brian, the Sportsman was a leaf spring setup, correct?
Yes, it was.
So you went from leaf spring to a 4-bar.
I mean, that's like going from a tricycle to a drag bike,
right,
without training wheels.
Yeah,
the change is so drastic. The 4-bars don't adjust like the leaf spring cars do. You've got to completely take everything you knew from leaf spring, throw it out the back door, and start from scratch.
And
for you to do that in half a season, to get where you got with that 88 machine, that's impressive. That is really impressive.
Very, very. So, Dorfler Farms helping you out. Is that Fiat muffler?
No. Flat muffler.
Flat muffler.
So Flat Muffler, he's one of our great friends from Staten. He does anything we need, any welding, any frame thing. He's there to help us.
Very cool.
We got Dorfler Farms.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
And of course, we talked about the wrap with Finish Line Graphics helping you out. I mean, man.
We got Finish Line on board. They do an awesome job. We got TBS. Good friends. Got a bee company. Makes honey. Honey's good these days, so
yeah,
they're helping us out quite a bit.
And something I think is really cool is you're being associated with Steve Moore and the whole deal, the whole Racing for Life program. You guys have put together selling the ribbons for cancer research. I know you're part of that, and the goal is $10,000 over the course of the season. And I don't doubt that these guys are going to do it. I don't doubt that at all.
I don't either,
because I know that you guys have already sold several ribbons. For which is when I say ribbon, I'm talking about the stickers, and there's Steve walking by right there.
He's always wanting to get in on the action.
But I don't doubt that these guys will raise that money, and I think it's an awesome deal. And when they're promoting on the race cars with the Racing for Life across the rear spoilers, and
I have a lot of respect for Brian. He sat here without even turning around. His car's to his back.
Yep.
And he's naming off sponsors. But the biggest thing I noticed was he threw his family in on top of that list.
He did before his sponsors.
You got to have your family behind it. That's awesome that he remembered to mention his family.
So yeah, absolutely.
Unlike
without
our last
you don't have
interviewee,
right? If you don't have your family behind you in this game of racing, you're not going to race very long.
It's all about family.
It really is true. With your car, being what it is, I mean, you guys, is it your dad that's always there? Or is your brother?
Cousin.
You guys are always right there together. And, I mean, if you see one of them, you see both of them.
Yep.
They're like shadows for each other and working on the car and talking and conversing about, what makes it better and how to go faster. And now I think you guys are all on the same page. It's
for sure.
Man, oh, man, it's an awesome deal. So the old school look, when you built the body and you got the Extreme Motorsports shop and said, okay, this is what we're going to do.
We've just been looking at pictures of old school stuff. The old Bloomquist car was we looked at that car and it was like, it's awesome. Just looking at old cars, something we want to make that looks cool.
Well, and that's what makes that class so unique. It really does. Makes that class unique.
I'd like to see more cars go that way.
I won't argue with that. I love that
it.
stuff. So you've already slipped and said you've dedicated yourself to the 2017 Track Championship. You're going to make a run for the title.
Of course.
That's the plan.
We're here.
All right. He says we're here, baby. I love it.
Anybody that says they're not's lying.
Well, and you know what? I'll say you're right on that. I mean, people say, we said we weren't going to run for the title, and we found ourselves in the title hunt. No, you made an effort to get there. I mean, you don't just get to the top 2 or 3 positions by accident or just out there having fun. Usually, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a rare thing. If you're going to run for the title and find yourself there.
Yeah, I guess it could happen, but... Yeah, anyway.
What do you think, given that the talent we've seen, we've got Randy Barley, the defending champion here. We've got Dan Dybel with his super sport car here. We know, we've got some really good cars in that class. What is it going to take to walk away from Willamette Speedway with the 2017 track championship?
You're going to have to give 110% because you're not going to get there unless you don't. I mean, there's 7, 8, 9 cars that can win on any given night.
Right.
So. You're going to have to give it your all.
You have to. And I think the biggest thing hit on, too, was the maintenance program. And these cars are these dirt cars, especially the class you're in. I mean, you've got the wedge nose and the big sides and the sideboards. And, these guys, you're in a class that's pretty rough and tumble. I mean, things get a little heated and spicy out there sometimes. And there's no messing around with that super sport division.
Sometimes heated and spicy.
Every week.
Heated and spicy sometimes.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, we brought back the old nostalgic look with the sideboards and the no top.
We brought back the old nostalgic racing.
We brought old nostalgic racing.
We did. Yeah.
This is some fun racing to watch. I mean, I love it.
The super sport class is growing too. I mean, it seems like they keep picking up more and more and more.
Right. Mm-hmm. Do you know of any new
cars?
Be
back to normal.
What's that?
Do you know of any new cars in the class for you guys this year?
I don't know of any new cars.
I've heard there's going to be, some few. You can't confirm anything without knowing for sure, so we don't do that. But I've heard there's supposed to be, 3 or 4 more new cars, and we'll see. Hope that's the case because we have about 14 cars last year in that division that were really good. But like he said, there's 7, 8, 9 cars that can win on any Saturday night, and that's what makes that class so tough. I mean. Yeah. It's not 2 or 3 cars like it was at the end of the season because you guys separated yourself for the points title. There's a multitude of cars in that class that can win on any Saturday night, and to beat those guys, like Brian said, it's got to be 110%.
Yeah.
Or don't bring the car to the track, right?
Exactly. So we've talked about how tough the super sport division is at Willamette Speedway. Just a couple of years ago, Brian, you were running Sportsman. Why did you make the change from a Sportsman car up into a super sport car?
I've been involved in racing ever since I was like 5 years old. And you want to be the best. You want to drive up there to be the best.
So he did that in the Sportsman with a championship, moved up to the next division. When do we see you in late models?
That's exactly where I was going.
I think we're a few years away from that.
I don't think so. I mean, you've proven that you've got great car control. And, Brian, you're a heck of a driver. I mean, you've proven that over and over. You got a big fan base out there at the track. I would not be surprised to see this guy in a late model in the next season or two.
Not at all.
He can sit over and shake his head, but I know how this stuff usually goes. And you got the talent, sir. I mean, you really do. I hope to see you make the move, but, man, I am excited to watch you in that car this year.
It's awesome. I'm glad to make a run at it. It should be a lot of fun.
So what's as far as 2017, what's the whole approach? How are we going to do this? Are we just going to come out and attack it, or are we going to just kind of
attack it?
See, look at this.
Put the car on the track. We're going for a win.
Right on.
Dude, there is no hesitation with Brian Winkler.
There's not, and that's why I like this guy. Every week at the track, you talk to him, you get the real deal. There's
straight shooter.
No
yep.
BS. Yeah. That's from the Extreme Motorsports stables. They're all kind of like that over there.
They are, and we appreciate that, and I'm sure everybody else listening
makes our job
too.
a lot easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does.
It absolutely does.
Well, we think it does.
Yeah. So the Extreme Motorsports stables. I mean, you guys are busy. You got you've got your Super Sport, and you've got Steve's late model and Steve's modified, and you got a lot of stuff going on over there. that shop has been busy this winter, and they all help each other out. I mean, there's 3 or 4